In fact, as we continue with this breaking news story now, we're also going to be joined by NPA spokesperson Advocate Mthunzi Mhaga. Advocate Mthunzi, good evening, and thank you for also making time for us. Our reporter Magala painted a succinct picture, and perhaps as we look at the context of all of this, perhaps we could just get your reaction as the NPA.
Good evening, Giselle, and good evening to SABC viewers. Look, we will adopt a very cautious approach given the fact that we received the petition this evening around 18 hours, and therefore we still have to put heads together with our legal team. However, we can confirm that we will file an opposition within 10 days, because remember, from the date the judgment was delivered, there are 15 days within which to file the petition. We take the view firmly so that the process of deporting Dr. Magudumana from Tanzania in 2023 April to South Africa was a seamless, above-board process with no untoward conduct on the part of the team that escorted her. We are also very much aware that there was a dissenting judgment, a minority judgment that ruled in their favor. However, the majority judgment is in our favor. You must understand that the South African law is such that it's evolving and very advancing from a jurisprudence point of view. And you can put, Lizelle, 5 lawyers in one room and give them one question, they'll give you 3 different answers. So it's in the nature of the legal system that you will get that. So we're not shaken. We think we're on solid ground in vigorously arguing for the dismissal of the appeal, starting with the leave to appeal, because we think that it is meritless and stands to be dismissed.
All right, Advocate, thank you for speaking to that. I think for those who've just tuned in and need context to it, I mean, if the issue of consent comes to the fore, that minority judgment that you've just alluded to, even just the deportation process itself and jurisdiction, talk to us a little bit more about the merits on that front, both for and against.
Look, basically they are saying this was what they term a disguised extradition. We take a contrary view to that, because if you look at the judgment of the High Court by Lofsha J, it made it clear that you can criticize the process, but we're talking about a situation where a person had consented thereto. However, the Supreme Court of Appeal, which is the subject of the said petition, did not even venture into that, because they said they did not outline or clearly articulate the issue of disguised extradition in their founding affidavit. It only came as at a later stage when they had to reply. It is on that basis that they thought that was impermissible, and therefore they did not have to deal with the merits.
And so, from your vantage point, is this, or are you of the view that these are delay tactics that are unfolding at this point?
I am not in a position to say that, for the fact that in South African law and our constitution makes it clear that an accused person who feels that his or her rights are violated in whatever way, he has a recourse in appealing any judgment that he feels aggrieved by to all the hierarchy of the courts in South Africa. So I am not in a position to say this is a delaying tactics, even though it has the undesirable effect of probably delaying the trial, which we scheduled for the 15th of July.
All right, well, it's obviously a high-profile case. I'm Advocate Mthunzi, and thank you for joining us, just getting your reaction there. We'll leave our conversation there. Of course, NPA confirming now that they've been served with a petition by the legal representatives of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. They're seeking leave to appeal the majority judgment of the SCA.